When I arrived in Cambridge, hundreds of years ago now it seems, I had a vision on the first day. She was beautiful, and she was 16. And she's been my wife for 50 years nearly. So I came to her one day and said, Sally, you know, I'd really like to marry you. Oh, yes? What an interesting idea. And here is a present for you. It's a cookery book. It's full of laws. How to make entrecote and apple cake. Thou shalt take so much sugar. Thou shalt take so much flour. And thou shalt... that kind of thing. And I said, look, if you keep the rules of this book, let's say for 40 years, then I'll think of accepting you. But of course I wouldn't do it now. And what's more, if you do not keep the rules, I shall send you back to your mother. But why are you laughing? That's how millions of people think of God. Now listen carefully. You would not insult a fellow human being by suggesting that your acceptance of them depended on their behavior for the next 40 years. So you think God's insulting you, does he? Do you? This is crucial. I cannot emphasize this enough because it's the reason so many people have rejected Christianity, because they think it's like that. What a back-breaking burden it would be for a woman to think, I've got to do this, I've got to try, I've got to bear the burden, and if I don't get it right, he will never accept me. That is not freedom. That is utter servitude and slavery. And the Christian good news is, well, it's the same as my marriage. Do you know, I accepted her at the very beginning. And she accepted me, which is amazing. And that's the strength of our marriage. I live now to please her, not to gain her love, but because I have got it. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not ashamed to say to you that I live for God now. Not to gain his acceptance, but because I have already received it over 50 years ago, and he has never, ever let me down. You see, the biggest thing in my universe is this, that Christ loved me, and he died for me. And he was raised again for me, so that I can, in this unstable, uncertain world, have a certainty. Science cannot give me that. Science is fun. But these are the big things of life that go really deep. And so science has not buried God. And I believe there's powerful evidence to tell us that Jesus is exactly who he claimed to be. That he is God incarnate. Atheism gives us a tiny world that ends at 70 years, give or take a few, and then nothing. What a pathetic, hopeless faith it is. Christ comes from the other world and tells me this is not the only world. There is another one. And you can join me in my exploration of it, if you're prepared to trust me. There are millions of people in the world that are working for God in the hope that he will accept them. God is interested in our work, but he's far more interested in our trust. And any one of us can begin that journey tonight, precisely because it is a gift of God. It is not our merit. Buenas noches a todos. Muchísimas gracias.